All right, welcome everyone to the whiteboard. I'm really thrilled to have you here in class for today's explainer lesson. Today, we're going to slow things right down and take a careful, step-by-step look at mastering reflexive pronouns. I want you to imagine we're just hanging out right here in the classroom together. We're going to build your understanding completely from the ground up, so that by the time we finish this session, using these words is going to feel absolutely natural to you. All right, let's dive right in. Here's a quick look at our lesson plan for today. We'll start with the core concept, move on to singular and plural forms, look at verbs and prepositions, compare reflexive versus intensive usage, tackle some common student mistakes, and then wrap the whole thing up with a quick summary and quiz. All right, starting right off with Section 1, the core concept. Okay, let's lock this definition into your memory. Reflexive pronouns are basically just pronouns that refer back to the subject of the sentence. The absolute golden rule here, if you remember nothing else, is that we use them only when the subject doing the action and the object receiving the action are the exact same person or thing. It's like looking in a mirror. Let's look at 6 really clear everyday examples on the board to see this in action. First up, Ahmed taught himself English. Now, Ahmed is the subject here, right? He did the teaching. But who received the teaching? Well, Ahmed did, so he taught himself. Second one, I cut myself while cooking. Who cut? I did. Who was cut? I was. It's the exact same person doing and receiving the action. Let's run through the rest. Third, she introduced herself. Fourth, they enjoyed themselves. Fifth, the boy blamed himself. The boy blamed the very same person, himself. And finally, number 6, the baby dressed itself. In every single one of these 6 examples, the doer and the receiver are literally one and the same. Moving right along to Section 2, singular and plural forms. Grab your pens, because here is the complete list for your notes. Notice how we neatly match each regular subject pronoun on the left side with its reflexive partner on the right. I becomes myself, you becomes yourself, he becomes himself, she becomes herself, and it becomes itself. And then dropping down to the plurals. We become ourselves, the plural you becomes yourselves, and they become themselves. You know, there's actually a really simple math to this. It's practically a formula. Look at these 6 examples. For singular words, meaning we're just talking about one person or thing, we literally just add the word self. So my plus self equals myself. Him plus self equals himself. Her plus self equals herself. And it plus self equals itself. Super easy, right? But look at those bottom 2. When we have plural words, meaning more than one person, we swap that out for selves. So our plus selves gives us ourselves. Them plus selves equals themselves. It is an incredibly reliable spelling rule to keep in your back pocket. All right, Section 3, usage with verbs and prepositions. Let's see how these words actually behave in sentences. First, I've put up 6 common daily verbs that perfectly set up reflexive pronouns right after the action. We enjoyed ourselves. She introduced herself. He taught himself Spanish. I hurt myself. They blamed themselves. And she prepared herself. See how naturally the pronoun just follows verbs like enjoy, introduce, teach, hurt, blame, and prepare? This right here is the most common structure you're ever going to use. Subject, plus your verb, plus that reflexive pronoun. Next, take a look at these 6 examples where reflexive pronouns correctly and very naturally follow common prepositions. Words like to, for, and in. Number 1, she was talking to herself. Number 2, he made coffee for himself. Number 3, I looked at myself in the mirror. Number 4, they prepared themselves for the exam. Number 5, she introduced herself to the manager. And number 6, we organized the event for ourselves. Just notice how the prepositions act as a little bridge, connecting the action straight back to the person doing it. Let's transition over to Section 4, reflexive versus intensive usage. Now pay close attention here, class, because this is an important distinction. The absolute key difference to remember is this. Reflexive use is absolutely necessary for the sentence's meaning. Look at the left side of the board. He hurt himself. If you erase himself, the sentence just says he hurt, which feels totally incomplete. It changes the meaning entirely. Who did he hurt? We literally don't know. But look over at the right side. Intensive use is purely for emphasis. He himself opened the door. If you remove himself, the sentence is still perfectly fine. He opened the door. When we use it intensively like that, we're really just adding bold font to our speech. We mean the person did it alone, personally, and without a single drop of help. Let's run through 6 daily life examples where the pronoun is used purely as an intensive tool. Again, just to emphasize that the person did it personally without any help. I wrote the report myself. The manager himself spoke to us. She cleaned the room herself. I made dinner myself. We organized the event ourselves. And yes, I fixed the computer myself. In every single one of those 6 examples, you could totally remove the pronoun and the sentence would still make complete grammatical sense. But adding it, well, it just gives this wonderful sense of personal achievement or dramatic emphasis. Let's wipe the board clean for Section 5, Common Student Mistakes. Let's look at the traps I see all the time. Okay, the absolute #1 mistake I see is using myself as the subject of a sentence. You can never, ever use a reflexive pronoun as the subject. So saying something like myself completed the project is just completely incorrect. The correct, confident way to say it is simply I completed the project. Keep it simple. And along those same lines, please do not overuse these pronouns by forcing them into sentences where simple subject pronouns belong. A lot of people actually think saying Ahmed and myself went home sounds really formal or polite, but it's actually a grammar mistake. The correct way is just to use your standard subject pronoun, Ahmed and I went home. Let's walk step by step through 6 more common mistakes, side by side with their correct forms, so you can visually spot these errors. First, using an object pronoun instead of a reflexive. She introduced her is wrong if she's introducing her own self. It absolutely must be she introduced herself. Second, getting the plural math wrong. We enjoyed ourself is incorrect. It has to be plural. We enjoyed ourselves. Third, there's that subject mistake again. Myself went to market simply becomes I went to market. Fourth, he introduced him becomes he introduced himself. Fifth, the cat cleaned it becomes the cat cleaned itself. And sixth, they blamed them actually means they blamed other people. If they blamed their own group, it must be they blamed themselves. All right, Section 6, Summary and Quiz. Let's bring this all together. Here is your ultimate summary table on the board. It contains all 8 forms and key examples to lock in the grammar rules we just learned. Let's review. I taught myself. Help yourself. He blamed himself. She introduced herself. The cat cleaned itself. We enjoyed ourselves, behave yourselves, and they prepared themselves. Always remember the golden rule. We only use these when the subject and the object are the exact same person. Okay, take out your pens because now it is your turn. Take a moment to solve these 4 practice sentences. Number 1, I taught blank English. Number 2, she hurt blank while running. Number 3, we enjoyed blank at the party. Number 4, the cat cleaned blank. Just think about who the subject is and do that simple math we talked about. All right, let's check your answers. For number 1, it's myself. Number 2 is herself. Number 3 is ourselves. And number 4 is itself. Excellent job. I've also put up 2 bonus dialogue examples here just to review how this actually sounds in everyday conversation. Person A asks, "Did you fix it?" Person B replies intensively, "I fixed it myself." Or, Person A asks, "Did Sarah enjoy the trip?" Person B replies reflexively, "She enjoyed herself." Class, you have done a fantastic job today following along step by step. You now have a really solid understanding of how to build and use reflexive pronouns, and, crucially, the difference between needing them for meaning versus using them just for emphasis. As we wipe the whiteboard clean today, I want to leave you with this final thought to test your own daily speech. Will you catch yourself the next time you try to use myself as the subject of your sentence? Think about it, keep practicing out there, and I'll see you in the next explainer lesson.